decided to sell a majority interest in the Utah Jazz and its affiliated businesses to Ryan and Ashley Smith.
A bombshell announcement as the Miller family is selling the Utah Jazz after 35 years. We have team coverage on the reported $1.66 billion deal and what it means for the future of the team.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Aaron.
And I'm Emily Flores in for Emily Clark. Today, a huge development this afternoon. The Miller family is selling the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, the late Larry H. Miller and his wife Gail purchased the team for $22 million back in 1985. Now they're selling a majority interest for a reported $1.66 billion.
There's no question that we have had a long and rewarding journey these last 35 years. Today is a day I have never been able to imagine.
It's almost impossible for a generation of Jazz fans to imagine either. The Millers relinquishing control of the team and the arena they built for it, with a sale pending to 42-year-old Ryan Smith, the co-founder and CEO of software company Qualtrics.
I grew up watching the Jazz. This is the team I've cheered for. I played junior jazz. I dreamed of playing for the Jazz, but that didn't work out.
I believe Ryan and Ashley embody the things that we as a family hold dear. They are absolutely committed to keeping the Jazz in Utah.
Mrs. Miller, who 3 years ago created a legacy trust to keep the team in Salt Lake City, called this a huge decision. She thanked her family and her employees before her thoughts turned to the Jazz fans and her late husband Larry, who was passionate about the team all the way up till his death in 2009.
I also want to thank Larry for making this absolutely remarkable journey possible. We love all of you, and we care about all of you, and we appreciate your support all these years.
Very emotional. Dana Green now joins us with a look at the history of the Utah Jazz franchise. Dana?
Rick, it's safe to say that without the Miller family, there would be no Utah Jazz. When they bought the team some 35 years ago, they were committed to keep the team in Utah, and what a legacy they built. Beginning its history in New Orleans in 1974, the Jazz moved to Salt Lake in 1979 under the ownership of Sam Battistone. The first few years, the team was financially failing, and there were rumors of moving to Las Vegas. In came Larry Miller to buy part of the team in 1985 and completely in 86 for $22 million, and the fortunes of the franchise were turned around.
Today I want to talk about a journey that started 35 years ago when Larry and I took a giant step out of our comfort zone and purchased the Utah Jazz. Young and full of excitement at the prospects of being stewards of a unique asset and sharing it with Utah and beyond.
To show their commitment, the Millers built a brand new arena, the Delta Center, in 1991. The Jazz became synonymous with Utah, and fan support grew to a swell. They had 209 consecutive sellouts from 88 to 93, still a franchise record. John Stockton and Karl Malone helped build the team into a perennial playoff power, never quite reaching the mountaintop, but peaking with back-to-back NBA Finals appearances in 1997 and 98.
There's no question that we have had a long and rewarding journey these last 35 years. We have experienced intense emotions, some high and some low, but we've enjoyed all of it.
When Larry Miller passed away from complications from diabetes in 2009, Gail Miller took over as owner. In 2017, she placed the team in a trust, ensuring that as long as they own the team, the Jazz would not move out of Utah. Today, she said she believes that agreement will be honored.
I want to thank my family, who has been very supportive and unified, the players, the coaches and staff, our employees, and our partners, and especially our fans.
Let's bring in a guy who's followed the Jazz since its inception, Wesley Ruff. And Wes, you get to talk to a couple of former Jazz legends about today's big news.
Yes, they did. Mark Eaton and Thurl Bailey both played for the Utah Jazz even before the Millers bought the team, and they like everyone else, were surprised by today's announcement.
Yeah, there was an element of surprise in it for me, being part of the organization as long as I have.
I think it makes perfect sense. I think Ryan Smith is the right guy, and he's a little younger, and you need somebody who can really help guide that, who understands maybe the younger season ticket holders.
But both players give all the credit to the Miller family for keeping the Jazz from moving back in the mid-'80s.
That was a big moment, a really big moment for us as players, and for the community, probably mostly.
All of us that played back then and still live here owe him a great deal of gratitude, because he was the one that put the team on the map. He kept the team in business.
This particular franchise, right? People call it small market, whatever. It's the community's team.
And now it will be Ryan Smith's team, but he plans to keep it here in Utah.
It's staying true to the commitment that Larry made back in 1985, and that the Miller family made when they put the team in the Legacy Trust to keep it here. And I don't know Ryan Smith all that well. I've met him a couple of times. But he grew up here, is what I understand, and so his commitment to keep it here and grow it to continue to be a premier franchise, I think, is very admirable, and look forward to seeing what the next few years bring.
I'm sure that Ryan still kind of has to get his lay of the land as well, right? This is probably new for him, like a kid in a candy store almost. People are going to compare him to Larry. I mean, Larry was all in. Right, I'm posting up, warming up for the game, and Larry's guarding me. He's got his locker in the locker room and his jersey there. So I don't know what kind of owner Ryan's going to be, but I know Larry was one of a kind. Well, we'll have to see what that brings as we move forward.